in their fists. Bonnie and Mandy. Make sure you're always watching, or you could miss it if they ever kiss. Those two wildflowers did what they had to do, and now they're free. And it's gonna be as wild as it can be, with no apology. Bonnie, Scalisi, and Mandy Jones, Wildflowers.
Welcome. You're looking live at the Wildflowers. I'm Mandy Jones, and next to me, as always, is...
Hi, it's Bonnie Scalisi here. How are you in Facebook land?
Hello. So it's been kind of a while. This is the first show of 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Nice
That's
to
right.
see you guys.
2023.
How did you spend your New Year's? Oh, you had a scandalous picture up. If you're friends with Bonnie Scalisi on Facebook, it was a really
What I think is funny
No,
is
it
people
wasn't
thought
funny.
It was scandalous, but
It
no
really
part
is
of my body was shown.
You would see more at
In
the
the bathing
beach.
suit.
You would see
Yeah.
more at the beach. It
I
was
got so much stuff
tantalizing.
about
It was
that.
very nice.
It was me wearing
I love it.
a sparkly jacket and heels.
And then there was
and
just
underwear.
and it was revealing, but it was great.
Or panties, as we like to call them.
I think it was great. And
It was my way of saying I might be getting older, but
I'm embracing it. Everybody's got to embrace what they are. I don't think people, all these women, I really hate it. Like, it was one of the ladies at work birthday over the weekend, so everybody in the chat, like, oh, happy birthday. And one of the guys, like, happy 29th birthday. It's like, she's like a 40-something-year-old lady.
Yeah,
give it up.
It's a little,
and I don't think she's even like that. It's just... Jim Ray always says that. Happy 21st birthday.
Party like you're 21
Yeah,
again.
party. All right, I could do party like I'm 21. But really, I don't want to. I want to party like I'm 32. How I figured life out. 21, I blacked out and threw up. And I didn't know how to party. Now I do.
It's kind of like a midlife crisis kind of thing. So I was just like...
just accept your age.
Yeah, it was just like, I was feeling it, and I took a photo, and I posted it. My daughter called me up, and she's like, take that photo down. And I said, no, I will not.
You take your photos down. Everybody's got so much that are showing on the internet. There's way more revealing. There's way worse of things. Way more you could have shown, Bonnie.
You see more. That's what I was saying. You see more in a bathing suit. So I just want to say hi. David Lange is tuning in. He said good evening. Jennifer Lentini, I just saw her yesterday. Love you, Jennifer. She's going to be our guest next month because it's Heart Awareness Month, if I'm saying that correctly.
Or transplant?
Transplant. Jennifer, type it in.
Transplant recipient? What is it? Donor Appreciation Month? Tell us.
Yeah, tell us, Jennifer. Nancy Weems is saying hello. She said, they're talking about, autism build.
Oh, an autism build-in process. All proceeds go to TACA. I don't know what that is. Nancy,
that's not sure what you're
that's got to be a maybe that's an acronym. But her son, that was your rule. Her son builds motorcycles, and then people bid on them, and the price keeps going up and up, and then they raffle off. Then whatever the raffle money is, they donate.
Oh, so I guess they're going to donate for autism.
So he's going to, he's probably building a motorcycle for autism. Nancy, if you send me that information, if you message me after the show, I will reshare that.
So Jennifer said it's Heart Awareness Month. Go Red for Women Month. Which
awesome.
I guess goes hand in hand.
Perfect.
And Taz is tuning in.
Taz.
Mandy. Bonnie. Hey, Taz. Okay, so I just wanted to... You want to plug our G's Club show, and then I'll plug...
Yes, and I'm going to say...
Yeah, you have another show coming up.
Club, because somebody thought I was saying Cheese Club.
and don't they have a new name now?
Yes, now it was formerly G's Club. Now it's going to be called The Avenue. I don't know if... what's his name from... you're not going to remember it. From... From the Bar Rescue. I don't know if John Taffer was there.
Yeah.
If John Taffer came through, or if they just... I don't know if there was... I don't know what happened with management, but it's the same great people. They just painted, and Stacy said they gave the place a facelift. So it's called The Avenue.
Everything is still going to be the same except the facelift.
Yes, and that's 157 Hempstead Avenue in West Hempstead. Bonnie and I will be there on Monday, January 16th. Free comedy show from 7:30 to 9. If you're a comic and you come down, you automatically get a spot on future shows, plus a chance to perform the night of the show. We do raffle off one spot the night of the show. So come down on January 16th. That's Monday coming up to the Avenue.
This Monday.
Monday.
Our headliner is Steve Rocco Perillo.
Yes.
Hi, Bruno. How are you?
The Prince of Darkness.
Speaking of Steve, I am in his very last produced show on Saturday, January 28th in the Giggle Room. It's called Nights of Rocco, and he will not be producing shows anymore. This is his last produced show, so if you were ever in one of his shows, and he's helped a lot of comics, come out and show support for Steve Rocco Perillo at Governor's in Levittown on January 28th in the Giggle Room. And aren't you going to Pennsylvania?
Yes,
That's cool.
Yes, I'll be at the Keystone Stage in Pennsylvania on February 11th. They do a comedy show and dinner, so ticket gets you a plate of food as well.
And it's all women.
It's all women. And the other show coming up is on Sunday, this Sunday, the 15th. I'll be at Alibi Lounge in Farmingdale. That's a $5 cover. I believe it shows at 7. I was going to say I believe, but that's true. And that's all I got.
And my boyfriend's tuning in. I want to say hi to Michael. And Bruno loves your hair.
Thank you.
And if we're not, are we ready to do
Yeah, no further ado.
Okay, so our guest performs all over. He's performed at Mohican Sun, the Riviera in Palm Springs. He was on the Howard Stern show. The very, very funny Chris Williamson.
Woo!
And I want to say one of the nicest people in comedy.
Welcome.
From personal experience.
Sometimes they say I'm too nice, though.
Yeah, if you're too nice, it's not.
It can
it's
hurt
not
you,
good.
right?
It hurts.
All right, so fuck both of you.
Yeah.
No. We got to keep appearances up. You got to be nice to everybody. You got to try to be nice to everybody. And if I don't get along with somebody, I just got to pick your other side of the room.
Right. We avoid people we don't like.
Yeah.
We don't not show up because of people we don't like. We just kind of pretend they're not there.
Just sparkle. It pisses them off, you know?
So, something interesting about you, that you're not just a comic, but you help people do not motivational speaking. What is the right word for it? It's public speaking?
Yeah, like technically I'm a consultant. So
okay.
This will shock a lot of people that are watching. Comics don't make a lot of money. Right? Like, there's not a ton of money in the comedy world.
Right.
You know, so most of us have day jobs and stuff. And I worked in corporate America for a long time. 2018, I went. I do public speaking. Like I might speak at conventions. I do things like that. I do consulting work. So yeah, I get to travel a lot. Like last week I was in Delaware, you know. Recently I've been in Portland, Oregon, Milwaukee.
What do you say when you speak to people?
Well, I worked in the home improvement industry, so I mean I could bore you with like roofing talk and windows talk and stuff, but like it's typically like
So it's not about the people getting up there and being able to do public speaking. You're speaking in public about things.
Yeah, like I might be talking about like recruiting. A lot of companies, like nobody wants to work, right? So it's hard to hire people. So, but you know, I think like when I do a convention, I speak about recruiting, but I make it funny. You know, but it's more industry related. You know.
How do you keep people's attention? It's so hard for people to even fucking pay attention.
For comics to keep people's attention. Your mom is tuning in. Hi,
hey, Mom.
Hi, Mary.
I think one of the problems is people tend to use PowerPoint presentations now.
Okay.
So one of the things that helped me in corporate America was coming from comedy. Like I'm not afraid to do crowd work. So I'll do crowd work when I'm speaking in front of a group of people.
Oh, they must love that. And that does keep them on their toes.
Yeah, because if I ask them questions and, you know, try to keep it fun, you know. Sometimes the topic might be kind of boring, but you can make it funny.
Did you always feel confident in front of a crowd, or did somebody help you, or something change?
Well, when I was a new comic, I had good mentors. So I was nervous at first, like every other comedian, but there were people that were nice to me when I was new that encouraged me. Like one was Bobby Collins, who's
oh wow,
yeah, pretty major guy. Like he gave me a spot, in front of him and encouraged me. And I was doing comedy a short period of time, and there's a guy his name's Paul Vanier. They call him the Comedy Tornado.
Okay.
I did a free spot with him somewhere, and he liked me. And the next thing I knew, I was opening up for him, like up and down the East Coast.
Sometimes that's all it takes is just one person.
Yeah. There's a guy, Mike Irwin, he passed away. He was a comic from upstate, and he taught comedy classes, and he told me, like, not that I kiss butt, but like he said, you don't have to kiss every butt, you just need to kiss one good one.
Well, I think that's for any career, right? I mean, not just comedy.
Yeah.
I was told by somebody I took a lesson from.
You're pointing at me. It wasn't me who she took a lesson from.
I took a lesson. I took a lesson from John Ziegler, and he said that a lot of times teachers are good comics because they're used to being in front of a class. Even if they were little kids, you're up in front of a room full of people. They're little people, and you're used to. That's a type of public speaking.
Right.
And I remember when I first started as a teacher, I did my student teaching. My first one was a 4th grade class upstate, and I was terrified to get up in front of that class. And the teacher who was mentoring me was very, very encouraging, and she let me watch for a while, and then finally she's like, you can't stay at the edge of the pool forever. You gotta get in there. Yeah. And I did, and it got a little bit easier each time.
You realize too, like if we were in a play, right, and someone says the play stinks, there's probably 10 people in the play, When they say that comic stinks, we're very vulnerable up there, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
You're on your own. It's a solo.
Yeah, and what are we talking about? We're talking about like our innermost, flaws or whatever it might be, and we're going in front of like 200 people, and so I was nervous in the beginning, like anybody else, I always like had kind of like my family's in real estate, so I was certified to like teach real estate classes when I was younger. So I wasn't a teacher like you were, but like I would instruct classes. So I wasn't really that afraid to do public speaking.
Well, my boyfriend says, Chris, is it true you do a seminar how to expense beer and hookers after a trade show?
No hookers, no hookers.
Just the beer.
But
Stevie GB is tuning in. Hi, Stevie. We are in a private show with Stevie GB on.
Speaking of hookers, Stevie GB's on the line.
Friday, January 28th, at the Babylon Yacht Club.
The Yacht Club, yeah.
So thank you, Stevie GB, for that
Very
opportunity.
hoi polloi. Thank you,
Peter
Stevie.
Najak is tuning in. And Bruno said, last one in the pool is a rotten egg. That's true. That's, you got to get your feet wet. Peter Najak said, when I'm afraid before a show, I try to funnel it into my comedy. Yeah, I guess use that nervous energy to do something good with it.
Yeah, and I try to always slow down because you get nervous and you want to go fast, and people will miss the joke.
Yes, always
so
slow down.
Just relax and slow down.
Jennifer said, I never been a comic, but I've seen many, and I give you all so much credit. Yeah, that it's difficult. Yes.
Yeah, Jennifer is very inspiring. Like I met Jennifer at Coasters back in the day.
Yeah,
and we used to do shows there, and I always try to love her posts and stuff. But I don't know Jennifer that well, but she should know that she's very inspiring.
She is. She's going to be our guest next month on February 8th.
Yes.
February 8th.
Wednesday,
yes, Stevie GB. We're both looking forward to it, and I'm practicing. I have 3 new minutes that I'm hoping to try out.
Nice.
3 new minutes is a lot of time to.
Yeah, that's half people's act.
That could be very
I have
terrifying.
7 minutes.
You always say that, but you switch your jokes out. You got more than 7 minutes. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah. Oh, Jennifer said, "Don't inflate my ego. I won't fit out the door." But thank you so much. Elizabeth Betateed is watching.
Elizabeth is a great supporter of comedy.
Batapeed?
Yeah, I'm surprised you never see her. She's always
And your sister Janelle is watching. I missed that. Hi, Janelle. Yes, show up, you guys.
She's very
Club
supportive on
Monday.
On the posts.
When I work with my boyfriend Eric Tartaglione at Governor's, Elizabeth is usually there.
Oh, nice.
She's a big supporter of comics.
Awesome.
Oh, that's great. Well, Elizabeth, we have a show on Monday.
Yeah.
This Monday at
Cheese Club.
Cheese Club in West Hempstead, starting at 7:30.
7 o'clock doors, 7:30 show time.
7:30 show. The show starts, and it's free.
So you have 3 new minutes of comedy. That's how. What is that? Like 12 or 15 jokes, or how do you?
I'm
going
to stretch it.
Yeah. Like how are you figuring?
Like
it's
we
3
just talked
minutes?
about. I'm going to talk very slowly.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm just taking my set and adding more to it, each part. Like I talk about my mother-in-law. So this new set that I'm trying on the 6th on Monday.
Yeah,
It'll be my first time trying it. I already say stuff about my mother-in-law that's in my set. Now I've added 3 more pieces. Mm-hmm. And then I already say something about my autistic boys. So I added to that. And then I have one joke that's just an add-on. It's got nothing to, I was already talking about COVID, so I added another COVID joke. And then I have one last piece, which I haven't tried to memorize yet, which is about, keeping the house clean and that kind of stuff, which I think everybody can relate to.
Yeah, and that's the thing for the people who aren't comics. It can be terrifying to try new material out.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrifying because I have a terrible memory, and my worst nightmare is getting up on the stage and just freezing. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, not so much now because I'm almost on some stuff. I'm on autopilot, But yeah, when I was newer, that was my biggest fear, was that I would forget stuff. And now even if I'm doing new stuff, I'll forget a line or you go into new stuff, maybe you have 5 or 6 jokes. The first one doesn't work, so now you abandon the next 5.
Well, that's the thing.
That's the thing. You got to power through sometimes. Right. And it's not comfortable.
Yeah. As I get older, though, the hardest thing for me is remembering names. If I am doing crowd work, I'll forget people's names 2 seconds after I learn their name, I forget it.
I don't do any crowd work. I have to start doing that. That's a good way to add time to your set. It could go horribly wrong.
That's what, my husband, every time he sees crowd work, he's like, they have no jokes, they got nothing. Because like you said, it's buying time.
That's how I started doing a lot of crowd work. I started working the road, right? So I was doing comedy. I met this guy, the comedy tornado, Paul Veneer. He got me in touch with his promoter. It was this guy, Steve Bix, Steve just passed away a few months ago, but Steve would book me. And he booked me in Altoona, Pennsylvania. It was 8 or 9 hours away. And it was me and one other comic. And maybe I had 10 minutes at the time. And they came to me and they said, Chris, the other comic's running late. Just go up there and we'll let you know. Just start.
Oh my God.
And
I would have a heart attack.
Right. We'll let you know when he gets here, And I ended up doing 25 minutes when I had 10, right? So,
wow.
So I needed crowd because your husband's right, Mandy. It was
time.
I was I had nothing.
I was also told to keep a bottle of water there and to slow yourself down in between jokes. Not every joke,
right.
But in between jokes, you take a sip of the water and, that slows you down.
That's a good idea.
So I'm going to try that. I'll probably spill the water all over the speaker and...
That's a good idea because people bring beer and drinks up there all the time, but I never think of water.
I think's brilliant was when the first time going back to the Long Island comics, but Kevin Downey Jr. does that sip bit. That was his drink actually became part of his act.
The reason he did that was the same exact reason he had to stretch the amount of time he was on stage. He was told to do 45 minutes, much more time than he was supposed to.
Yeah.
And that's how he filled the time, just in that one show, and it just stuck with him, and now it's his trademark.
Yeah, it's just amazing when the audience will yell back something like "sip" when you take a drink. It just blew me away.
And it came out of, it wasn't planned. It came out of that kind of thing where he was just thrown into something.
Yeah, or a guy like Ron White who uses this a cigar and whiskey as a prop. But those are the type of things. I know you went to stand-up university. That's where I started. Was it?
I went to John Truson. That was my first class that I ever took. And then I had a good 7 minutes. I had 6 minutes, and I would stretch it to 7, and then I took that, and that gave me another solid minute. And believe it or not, it's just like they give you a lot of stuff, but then you end up rejecting it all because, I don't know, it doesn't feel right. And it's a good learning process to attend those classes. Like, that's why I do it. And it's also great connections. And I loved the class. I loved both classes.
Me too. I
enjoyed them both.
I learned a lot from Peter Bales about hosting. When we talk about I didn't really, maybe it was dumb. Like, I didn't realize that. I thought comics went on stage, they put a napkin down and they drink. I didn't realize they had like their bits on an index card. I didn't realize that when I started comedy. The little tricks of the trade like that I didn't realize. So that would kind of help me remember. Like, we're talking about forgetting things, but at the same time, you're just writing one or two words. You're not writing like the whole act on that index card.
Just so that you don't completely forget your set. To have they call them keywords.
Yep.
Because I have seen people completely go blank up there.
Yeah.
And everybody was always making fun of me for bringing my little sheet up there. But I'm like, you know what? So far, I've never gone blank. And when I freeze, I have that to look at. But I have tried to stop using it. But, it's hard.
It's kind of a security blanket.
It is a security blanket, 100%.
Yeah, it's like Linus with his blue blanket on Snoopy, But yeah, I would use those a lot. Like when I was new, I always had one of those. And then I wouldn't buy like the little index cards. I'd buy the big index cards because I could get more information on there.
Me too.
And now as I get older, if I'm wearing glasses, I have to like raise my glasses to look at the index card.
But now you're a headliner and you headline shows. I was just at the Shore House with you.
Long Beach, yeah.
And you did a great job. I heard that they had equipment problems at their first show. So you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so our friend Jeff had a show. Yeah, I headlined the Shore House. That was great. Like, I'm weird. I'm like a utility guy. I'll host, I'll close. I don't mind. There's some comics.
You don't have an ego.
I don't have an ego. I'm a nice guy, right? We said at the beginning.
Yes, you're very
I don't really have an
nice.
ego that way, but yeah, we did. This place, they're actually doing a show there tonight at the Shore House. Long Beach is becoming like a hotbed for comedy.
Is that show tonight?
Yeah, they have a show tonight. But then I know our buddy Dan LaRocco
has Rich Walker is in the next. He's headlining the next show.
Yeah, I think that might be tonight.
Oh, rats! I was going to try to go see it.
Yeah, but it's a cool. Like, the sound system now, they have it perfect. Like, you can hear it outside the place. The front of it is kind of a restaurant. Then there's a bar in the back. It was a great crowd that night. Yeah, it's a great crowd.
They were a great crowd.
Yeah, but I know there's other shows going on. Long Beach seems like a great spot for a comedy club.
It's the thing that Michael and I saw about Long Beach, because, we are night people. We start going out at 10, and now you'd think Long Beach would be a place where there'd be things to do at night. And there's very few places that are open at night. The place that we were at, the Shore House, was one of the few that is open at night.
Yeah.
So I think that's very good for having a show there because there's not that much else to do.
And there's so many people that live in Long Beach. And
and all condensed in that little area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't remember the name of the place. There's a place where they have, like, Jeffrey Ross has been down there. They've had some kind of big names in Long Beach over the last year, but I think that's a spot that's
the only spot I ever did in Long Beach. You did it too. Mm-hmm. You did it also, mm-hmm. But I haven't done anything in Long Beach. It's kind of a hike for me.
So what happens is with these new comics, like a guy like Jeff, our friend Jeff, who runs
Goldberg.
Jeff Goldberg runs this show in Long Beach. It's hard to get stage time, so they create their own stage time, which is just something else. You're a new comic. You're trying to figure out, like, what's my act, write my material, and now you can't find any place to perform it. So,
well, the bringer shows are very hard.
Yeah, hey, we'll give you 5 minutes if you bring 6 people to the show.
Yeah.
And some of those shows go for 2.5 hours, and they seem they're never going to end.
They can be very challenging because I actually sit and watch those shows as an audience member. I remember. I'm not going to say where or who produced it, but me and Michael went for somebody. The show was 3.5 hours.
Not right.
And the people started leaving, including the people who performed left. And there was this one guy who hadn't performed yet. He had a whole table of people that he had brought. And Michael goes, I'll do whatever you want me to do. And I go, we have to stay, because that guy has as much right to have some kind of an audience as the rest of them. But that was, after the show, I'll tell you who it was. But that was really, not a good thing. Not good. Michael said, bringer shows are a great way to get rid of friends and family.
Let me tell you.
That's funny, Michael.
So
no, my daughter won't even come. She's like, basically, I roped her into coming to a few things that she didn't want to go to. She saw some major headliners. I'm not going to say who, and she wasn't impressed. She just doesn't like comedy. Oh, Alan Streisfeld, how are you? I love his posts. I think he's great. We should have Alan on.
Yeah, Alan's our friend. He's like the king of the joke a day kind of.
I love his stuff. He knows I always like his stuff.
I love Alan because the last show I did with Alan was at Ben's Kosher Deli, and I got paid to do comedy and I got food.
Is that in Bayside?
Yeah, I did the Bayside one.
Rare, but food is better than money at times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're equal to me.
Yeah.
Food equals money.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? It could be about comedy, or it could just be life.
Well, I'm in comedy mode. So I have this advice, but I was kind of frustrated early on in my comedy life, and I went to, if I wasn't working, I would hang out with Bobby Collins because he was just at Governor's. Yeah, so
Michelle Fox was the host, and he was with her.
Bobby was like my favorite comic, and when I became a comic, I met him, and he was just really cool. He was really cool to me, and I would hang out with him. And I remember I went to Philly, and Bobby was in Philly at the Stress Factory, and I had dinner. We had dinner, and I was kind of complaining, right, about like this guy won't book me, and this is, and he was like, would you stop crying? Like why? He's like, you're getting like really negative. He's like, if this isn't fun, like don't do it.
That's perfect. I love that. That's kind of like getting your face slapped.
Yeah.
But metaphorically, what's the word?
Yeah, metaphorically.
Metaphorically getting your face slapped.
Yeah.
Is that you have to remember. The reason I got into it, strangely enough, was I was lonely and I wanted to meet people and make friends.
Yeah.
And I realized that in comedy you have to be careful, like, because I don't want to go into the negative. I've learned, don't go into the negative.
Yeah.
Just try to be happy with what you get. Be thankful for people who support you, and the people who don't like you, just try to, be nice to them, but keep your distance.
And geez, you've met people. How many people commented on your picture of you?
Like over 400.
Yeah, and those are all people that you pretty much either know or know from Facebook, like decently well. You know what I mean?
Those are like my Facebook family.
Yeah, those are peeps.
My Facebook peeps.
It's funny though that you want to meet people, and like now you've met comics, and you realize how crazy and twisted we all are.
Well, if you're a comic, you have to be crazy and twisted. So I must be crazy and twisted because I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Mark Cummings. That sounds familiar. He said, it's Williamson, like the bridge.
Yeah. Mark.
Do you know Mark?
I know Mark. Mark, this will shock you. Mark is a guy I know from my neighborhood bar. So,
that's so funny. Nancy Weems said something very important. Thank you, Nancy. Can everyone who's watching please press the share button and share the show? Because I tried to share the show to groups while the show was live, and I got in trouble with a lot of groups because I was pressing buttons, and there's so many rules with the groups.
Yeah.
You can't post a video, or you can't post a flyer, or whatever it is. So can everyone please share the show? So you see him at a local bar?
Yeah, I haven't seen Mark in a little while.
Hi, Mark.
But yeah,
Welcome to Wildflowers.
Mark's a fun guy.
What?
He's a musician. He plays guitar. He plays guitar. Yeah, but he loves comedy. I find a lot of musicians love comedy. And
it's very similar, right? Like music and comedy, in that my boyfriend was in a band and played bass.
Oh, yeah.
When he was in high school, and he saw the whole scene when he was younger. And he was like, I could either follow this or I could actually try to, make money. And he left the whole thing behind. And then I'm friends with a band, and he sees them, and part of him is like, what if I had? And then the other part is like, oh yeah, I remember why I don't want to do this, why I went the opposite way. Your sister's saying it's nothing like comedy. I love your sister.
It's on stage in front of people.
It's like,
music,
yeah, I mean,
your name.
I guess the only thing, your sister's right in that it's different, but it's the same in that you're getting up on stage and you have to remember your chords and playing with the group. You're tied in with a group. And comedy, you have to remember your routine, so you're up on stage, and you kind of have to remember your stuff. Mm-hmm. That's how it's the same.
It's funny too. Like the other thing I learned is like, don't blame the audience. Like
that's definitely true.
It's on me to make the audience laugh. If they don't laugh, it's my fault.
And something people always says, oh, well, they thought it was funny in Brooklyn, or oh, they thought it was funny last night. And it's like, oh, so there's something funny with tonight?
Right.
No.
The only thing I will say is I don't do political humor. I don't. But for people who do, it works one way in the city and a completely different way on Long Island. That's the only thing that's different as far as the audience goes. They if you're very liberal and you do shows in Manhattan, they'll love you. And if you do the same kind of jokes here, you'll get booed or even maybe beaten up. So that's why I do political things on my Facebook page, but I do not do any politics in my stand-up.
I was a newer comic, and I was with another, I don't know if he wants me to mention who it was, but I was with another comic he's a headliner now. I mean, guy you'd know. And we both got to open for this guy, the coach, Tom Whiteley. He's a New Jersey guy, but he's a football coach. That was his thing. So he wore like the old leather like helmets from like the 1950s, and he dressed like a coach, shorts, t-shirt, and a whistle. So I went up and bombed. I ate it so bad that night. And then my friend went up and bombed, and he ate it that night. And we were both in the back of the room going, oh, this crowd sucks. This is like the worst. It was like 100 people. Like, this crowd sucks. So the coach goes walking up, and he's got this stupid leather, it wasn't even like really a leather helmet, though. It was like knit, like his mother-in-law knit it, right? And he walks up, and he blows the whistle, picks his butt once. Blows the whistle, picks his butt. People are laughing. Right? Then he gets on stage. He looks at them. He blows it once, picks his butt. Now he blows it twice and picks his butt twice. They're pounding on the tables like,
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That's what they wanted.
Yeah, we're like, it's a great crowd. We just didn't get them.
You didn't get what their vibe was.
Right.
Michael said you learn not to blame the audience when you play at biker bars because that you don't want to piss them off.
No.
That's for sure.
They're actually nice though. Usually the biker bars. I've played plenty of those.
Some of those people are the most patriotic people of all.
And they're
comedy. Crazy, but your sister's saying, "Give me Lucy Ball vibes, Mandy. Love it."
Oh, giving me Lucy Ball. Yeah, thanks, Janelle. Just real quick, we'll have we've been having ever since one of our guests took over reading the ad.
Richard Lampone. We had to figure out. We forgot who it was.
We have the ad read that Chris is going to do for us.
So this is for Key Fitz.
Yeah.
My buddy Key Fitz.
He's the best.
Everybody loves Key.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. I said.
Your sister goes, you can't read.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So we're doing a live commercial for Key's Love. So just
look, there's a little thing up there.
Oh, there. At Key's roast, I said he looked like a cross between Pippi Longstocking and Carrot Top. That's what I said. we had fun at his roast. But Key's Love Jewelry and Key's Cutlery. Key's Love Jewelry, stainless steel jewelry, all nickel and tarnish free. Knives, swords, self-defense equipment. Excellent quality for reasonable prices. Shop online at keyslovejewelry.com or keyscutlery.com. And he is in a new location at Retro Relics on Middle Country Road in Lake Grove, New York.
I should really take Addis in a new location because he's been there for a while now.
Yeah. Not so still. It's still a new.
Yeah, I
thing,
mean he was at his old location for a long time.
Yeah, years.
I'm not sure what my boyfriend means by this, but he said Chris Leather Hoods sounds like an interesting bar. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Did you say something about the bar?
No.
I hang out with the guy in a leather hood.
No, the leather helmet was the comedian.
Oh, that's the name of the comedian.
The coach.
We're mixing.
The coach.
We're mixing
Okay, you misunderstood what he said, Michael.
Yeah.
We're mixing
That's the name of the guy, not the name of the bar.
But I hang out with the band, O.L. Amore, and that guy wears a leather mask.
Oh,
the lead
really?
singer. Yeah, so I thought he might have... Because I post a lot of photos with them, and people say, I'm dating the guys in the band, I'm their biggest groupie,
Now, can I ask you a question? And you don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
All right.
But I happen to know that you have a new girlfriend.
I do have a new girlfriend.
And that you met her through Facebook.
So her name is Stephanie, and yeah, I met her on Facebook, and I've been not with my wife I've been divorced for a number of years now, and dating stinks. Dating. I know you
dating is hard.
It's
yes.
hard. It's not easy.
I liked it, but
oh really? You're
did.
the one that liked it. Yeah. So I
gave me a lot of stories.
Yeah. So I met her on Facebook, and we met, and I'm not good on first dates. Like I feel like I'm awkward, and I'm not good at it.
Oh yeah, I'm shy.
I'm terrible.
Nice people are usually shy.
Okay, yeah, and I would go on first dates. At the end, I would never try to kiss someone goodnight. I'd shake their hands goodnight, and I was a mess. But yes, we met, we hit it off, and it's going great.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, I'm like
because he put it as how in Facebook you have your relationship status.
Oh, okay. He's Facebook
put
official.
Yes.
And she's status too. We're both status.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's official.
I'm crazy about her. I'm going to say that.
Oh, that's nice.
And you know how I know? You know how I know I am? Honestly, I'm writing bits about it now. Like it's inspiring me to some stuff that I think is funny.
Good.
So it's going great. And then they go, oh well, don't move too fast. People say that. But
I feel like me and my husband right away. As soon
you're young.
But
it's
right
different.
when we decided, but this is
old.
what we're doing. This is what you're doing. I don't want to half-ass. Once we went this far, I don't want to go back to playing games and not being sure.
Yeah,
once you're all in, you're fucking all in.
Yeah, it's like after the first date, don't text for blah blah blah.
Oh yeah, like none of that bullshit applies.
Don't
fucking play any of those games.
No, but I think I texted her before she got home that night. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't,
You don't play games.
I broke every guy rule with dating her.
You know what? I think that you found somebody who's real because you're real.
Yeah.
You found it. So Pat Marone is tuning in. Hi, Pat. He said, "How you doing?"
How you doing?
Yeah, Pat was playing the Honeymooners. He played Ralph Cramden and really was such a successful run in that. So
and I don't know how your girlfriend will feel about this, but my sister's saying, Chris, your voice needs to be my Siri.
Yeah. You need some
have a
bad
nice voice.
Long Island. Do I really?
I guess you're soothing.
I'm gonna say that he met my. Can I tell that?
Yeah, open book.
Okay.
Oh, God.
I worked at a school, and I have a teacher friend. I'm not going to say her name on air, and he was kind of like chatting with her. I don't think he ever actually met her.
Never.
Right?
No, never.
Preliminary chat.
And she kind of asked me about him, and I said he's so nice. He's so nice, but I don't think they would have made a good match. Let's just say that. Okay. I'm not going to go into anything.
Chris will
more
tell you
than
off
that.
air about it.
And Captain Splash is tuning in. Hi, Captain Splash. She said, "Hi, girls. Haven't seen you guys in a while. How are you doing?"
I was behind you on the highway one day, Captain Splash. I was
really?
Yeah, her license plate is Captain Splash, and I was like,
"Oh my
we're
God,
Captain Splash!" We were in fucking
Pat Marone.
East Nowhere.
And Chris Smith.
That's Taz's mom.
Chris Smith is. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, and I know Taz really well. I mean, she's been in my car and everything.
Pat Marone called me Elton John.
Nothing funny going on in the car. I was just driving her.
I get called Elton John a lot. Pat Marone is called me Elton John.
I can see that.
Yeah, can you?
That
yeah.
and
Elton
the guy
John?
who played Truman Capote.
Oh, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I can see you doing
like
it.
when he was alive or now? Like, how do you mean that?
No, since he's been dead.
Your
That's
sister
horrible.
goes, "That's sick."
I don't know what she's talking about.
But you don't have. So that lady you're talking about, I was on.
Here we go.
Tell them about the Thanksgiving thing. That's so funny.
So I've been on like every dating site.
So this is my teacher friend who I've known for years.
Yeah.
I know that they're in a chat, and and proceed from there.
So we were chatting, and I had weird things happen, like dating. Just like I'm so happy now because I don't have to deal with this anymore, And it was that lady that you knew. We were chatting, and like she went on vacation. I never heard from her again. Right? I didn't hear from her again. And then one day, this is maybe 2 years later, I was like on stage. I get off. I'm on a text thread. There's like 60 texts, and it's all about like Thanksgiving dinner. And I don't know any. I know none of the phone numbers, right? On the text. So finally, like I kind of answer, and I go, "Hey, everybody. I don't think this was meant for me." And they're like, "Yeah, we know it's you, Uncle Chris." And I'm like, "Yeah, but," and they're like, "What's your?" So I gave like my last name. And long story short, this lady that you knew, her brother or something was named Chris. She tagged me.
She put his phone number in the family Thanksgiving chat.
So all of a sudden she's like, "Oh wait, were you the guy that we were talking from like Match.com like a year ago?" And one of her nieces is like, "Oh my God, Aunt, whatever." And she's like, "I'm so embarrassed, right?" And then they start inviting me over for Thanksgiving, like the family. But I didn't go. And we spoke like 3 times after that, and then she disappeared again.
She ghosted you.
She ghosted. Yeah.
Things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
Because if she hadn't ghosted you, you wouldn't have met the person you met now, who was really the one who was meant for you.
I agree. I mean, 100%. All the bad stuff sets you up for when you get the right person.
And you feel more grateful for having them.
100%.
Because you've been through whatever you've been through.
Yeah.
So your sister said, talk about getting your lines crossed. Yeah. Oh yeah, the phone lines. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. But you met Glenn when? It's college,
when I was
right?
19. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because we were talking about getting lines crossed. In my phone, my father-in-law is not your husband, Big Glenn, because under no circumstances, out of my mind, will he get anything that's not. Or did I ever even text him? Just I have him in my phone.
No, you have to be careful with the text. I've made many of a mistake with how texting people back and forth. And you say something to one person that was meant for the other person.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So now I'm very careful. Nancy Weems said, you accept a friend request. They like all your photos. Peeves me off.
Like right when they do like a big stalk when they first came through. Like, I stalk.
Yeah, I've seen that's happened to me many times.
Sorry, Nancy, that's probably me. I go through and I'm like, there's things I need to love. I'm like,
well, you like a picture from 8 years ago or something.
Your trip to Greece 5 years ago seemed great.
Now they know you're creeping on them, But yeah, it was that your friend was. That was funny. I kind of got like an edge. Like she might have been tough.
Let me just say this: you're very nice. She's not. I don't want to say she's not nice, but she's very assertive.
Okay.
Very, very assertive.
I feel like you've gotten assertive by her.
I think that God had a different plan for you. So Nancy says, I read that already. I'm sorry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so the dating things. So you've been dating for a number of years. And now you met somebody, and that's amazing. It took me, I think, a year to meet Michael. I dated for a year, and I had no idea what these apps were. I was completely new to dating, but I had some great times and fun stories, and I looked at it as an adventure when I went on each date. It was a disappointment, but it was an adventure.
I had some crazy, like there was one girl I was kind of like hanging out with, and then she went away, and all of a sudden she was posting photos of a fruit basket that some guy sent her, and I'm like, who is that guy that sent the fruit basket? It was like, or like I you go, taken down by like a pineapple basket, or it was like, you have just like weird things would happen.
The fruit basket.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Scandalous.
We go on like 2 or 3 dates, and she's buying like, I always pay. I'm a nice guy. I always pay. Like that's like her fourth $15 drink she just got.
I hate that. Like when your sister is saying she sent the fruit basket to herself to make you jealous.
No, she didn't.
You never know with these people. I have so many dating stories which I really should put into jokes.
Yeah.
I dated one guy. Oh God, I remember. I went out and I met him at a bar, and I found out he was a funeral director and a massage therapist. And he was so, like, he had a nasty ass attitude. Yeah. And I'm always like really happy, and I'm trying to like work with him, and just get through the date. Like, if you don't like me or whatever it is, I don't like you. Like, this is our time together. Let's like you said, let's make the best of it. Let's not be negative. And he just was so like, maybe between between those 2 jobs,
massaging dead bodies
somewhere.
I was like, I know there's a joke in here. I put it on Facebook. Like, this is over 4.5 years ago. No, maybe 4 years ago. And all the people on Facebook who are my friends started putting in jokes.
Right.
Oh, he's stiff to meet you. Like, they had a million different jokes, but I still don't use it in my act.
Yeah, you should.
Because it hit too close to home at the time.
Yeah.
Maybe now I would use it.
You know what's strange about my girlfriend? I was married to an Italian speech teacher. Right?
Really?
I had an on-again, off-again relationship with a speech teacher, and my current girlfriend is an Italian speech teacher. So this will be the third.
You like what you like.
Yeah, and I don't think I have a type, but it is kind of.
Everybody has a type.
Yeah, but speech pathology? Like what's...
My daughter's a speech pathologist.
Really? Well.
Yeah. And she's half Italian.
Half Italian. Wow.
But she has a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Peter Najak said he messages the corpses.
Massages
that's the thing. Everybody came in and they had their own little thing that they said. But, and I still don't use it in my act, but I really should. Yeah, I have a stack of papers like this of jokes and stuff that I don't use.
Yeah.
Because Michael's like, my boyfriend, he's like, whenever you get something new that works, you throw something else out. He's like, why do you do that? Keep what you had and just add to it, and you'll have a longer set. But my thing is, whatever was working the least, I get rid of it. So that I have, like, to me, it's like a stronger set. And he's like, stop doing that. That's why your set is not long enough.
I was just talking to a young comic. Something I learned, like, always looking for new material, right? New material. But the thing is, a way to expand the act is just to add jokes to stuff that already works. Add those, we call them tags, right?
Yes.
In comedy, like add those tags to jokes. You don't always have to have like a new bit.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm just building on what I had already.
Yeah.
Your sister said, he should massage the family members in the first row in the wake. And then she said, comes with the platinum package. Janelle, I think you should go into comedy.
My sister was always like
what does your sister do?
She works in high-end retail. She sells really expensive
I knew
clothes
that.
to
That's
people.
Right.
Like a $200 belt.
Yeah, Janelle, I'm not your clientele.
Yeah, no.
I don't buy any clothes. Oh, camera jockey. Hi, Bruce. How are you?
I have not seen Bruce in a long time.
Me too. Bruce is I've got a lot going on.
I always love when the camera jockey Bruce is in the crowd, because I always tell everyone that he did my nude photo.
I discovered him.
Yeah?
Me and Jennifer, he came to Coasters one day and he started taking pictures, and everyone's, who's taking our picture? I don't like that. And I'm like, just be nice. Again,
right. Yeah,
be nice. And it turns out he's like all over and helps all these comics and does wonderful things for them. Again, just be nice. Inside Bonnie joke. Oh, Peter Wolfinger, we were talking about you. We thought you were the one that read the ad. Peter is now in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I call awake a peek in the box. And Peter, I saw your photo of you relaxing on your property, watching the farmland, and it's like a gorgeous sunset. And he's like, this is a cool way to spend an evening. And I'm jealous. I would love to move to Florida. If I could move to Florida, I would, but I'm stuck here. So.
I didn't know that about you. You want to move there?
I love Florida.
But you don't like the heat.
I hate the heat. I hate humidity. I hate the heat. But I love the governor there, and I love.
Do you like the beach?
No, I hate the beach.
I
Do
don't
you like
know.
alligators?
Florida's the best fit for you.
No, but it's economically, it's really good.
Okay, yeah.
The
And they
taxes
are
are good. Not the taxes. The what is it?
I don't think they have.
Cost
is it
of
no
living?
income tax?
Like I wouldn't
And I
get
think-
taxed
is
on
it
my
lower
pension.
sales tax?
I wouldn't get taxed on my
They might
pension.
not have income tax down there. Somebody in Florida,
Yeah.
do you guys have income tax?
And the price of
Which would
houses
be
is
awesome.
starting to go
Yeah.
up because everybody's running to Florida now. But the houses compared to the houses here is like.
Oh yeah,
you
what
know.
you can get.
Oh, Kathy's tuning in. She said she hates everything about Florida, but wants to go. I mean, I do. I want to go to Florida, but I will never be able to go.
I don't like the alligators just roaming the streets in
Yeah,
Florida.
Oh,
I
and
don't
big
know about all
giant
that.
bugs. They do
Yeah.
have big giant bugs. But Peter Wolfinger, chime in about the good things about Florida because I know I've been to Florida and visited there, and it's cool because they have these giant supermarkets and like.
But you get stuck behind 85-year-old people with their shopping carts at these giants.
You do have
There's like
to slow
thousands
down.
of them.
Peter Nadrick said their taxes are going up. Really? Well, that's not good. Okay, Michael said no income tax in
I will
Florida.
helicopter an alligator. Is that you mean swing your?
I will helicopter an
Penis
alligator.
I was
My mom says Florida.
My parents refused to move to
there.
Florida. My parents refused to move to Florida.
dad
My
wants
dad
to
still
move to
lives in
Florida.
his house in Syosset. He hasn't moved. He's 94.
Yeah.
He's still living in the same house. They tried to. Oh my God, my mom was very good with the money. My dad knows not. He's like me. I take after my dad. My mom invested his money really well, and they went down to Florida on a free trip to tour because they were trying to get them to buy a timeshare, right? And my mom knew that it was like a fix. What's it called?
It's not like a hoax, but I know what you mean. It's like a.
It's a scam.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, we're going to get a free trip out of this. We're not going to sign anything. And, you know, we're going to get the food and other. And my dad, by the end, my dad was like, yeah, let's get this. 'Cause I'm like my dad. And my mom was like, no. But that's how they get up. But in the past, that's how. Now everybody's going there on their own. They don't have to lure them there. So Peter Wolfinger said, Publix supermarket is awesome. It's huge. It's like almost like a giant. I guess like if you took a Costco and you times it by 10, that's how big these supermarkets are in Florida.
They have signs up like "Do not feed the alligators." Like, who the hell is feeding the alligators?
No, seriously.
The dumbasses from New York, like me, who moved there.
Yeah, with their kids.
There was an old lady walking this little dog, and there was an alligator like in the pond, and I'm like, there's an alligator in the pond, and she's like, yeah, it's fine.
Oh
That's
my
the thing. I've
God.
seen people on videos go after alligators going after little
Yeah.
dogs.
They will
and stuff
eat
'cause
dogs,
You walk
they
your
will
dog
eat
around
little
the
children.
little pond.
They will eat people.
But you could have a pool built, like you could have like back in the, I don't know if it's true anymore, but you could have your own house built. You could have a pool that's like, or a hot tub.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing was like 100,000. Like a house here is like 350, 400,000. There you get the same house, but with a pool, a hot tub, all screened in, and no taxes, and that's why people go there. And they don't like the winters, the cold weather. But we haven't had cold weather. We haven't had one snow day. I don't want to jinx it.
No.
I'm knocking the wood on Mandy's
You know,
dining room
warm
table.
weather area I liked. I was in New Orleans. Last year. That's my favorite kind of.
I've never
warm
been
weather.
there.
It's the greatest. It's adult Disneyland.
It's
the
almost
greatest place.
I have to go there. Michael, what did you say it was?
Adult Disneyland. That's
No,
what
the name of the
New
place.
Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
Peter said Florida man does literally molest the alligators, and there are signs, no BS.
He's trying. I took a picture. It said, "Do not molest the alligators."
Don't
He's
even
right.
not touch them.
And dating was so bad for me. I thought about it while I was down there, but I didn't do it. But yeah, they have these signs: "Do not molest the alligators."
Wait, I know that if you take, I don't know how I know this, but if you take, and the Kathy Arnold goes, "Yikes!" If you take a rubber band and you put it around the alligator or the crocodile's mouth, they can't open their mouth.
Right.
Or if you just grab their mouth. But who the F wants to go and try that? Like, I would be running in the opposite direction, like Woody Woodpecker running away
you're saying
from
the person getting the bands on?
Yeah. Why would you want to go up to an alligator and try to put a rubber band around its mouth? Like, why? But there are crazy people out there.
There's a guy I follow on Facebook. He's called Gator Chris. That's his name.
Okay.
And he's got like millions of, and he's a handsome guy. I'll say it. He's very like handsome. But yeah, he trains alligators and stuff, and he's got thousands of videos. And they put one piece of tape and they can't open. All the power is in closing, not opening. It's like one thing of electrical tape, and they can't open their mouth.
Well, he's crazy. And Kathy Arnold goes, someone's got to have balls, LOL.
Not me.
Nancy said Florida would be wonderful if the snowbirds would stay home. Oh, I know a lot of people. Camera jockey said fried alligator is yummy. I know a lot of people who are snowbirds, who live here. They go to Florida for the winter, and when the winter's over, then they come back. And, you know, that's an interesting thing to do.
Yeah.
And you kind of have the best of both worlds. So she's laughing. Yeah. But, yeah, it's hard to decide what to do. I mean, I'm not a good person with change. So I've been in the same house for over 20 years. And, you know, I would like to go someplace else, but I can't right now. But that doesn't mean I can't visit. So Camera Jockey said, Michael, yep, kind of great with hot sauce. I don't know what he's talking about.
They're probably talking with the
alligator.
alligator.
Has anybody eaten alligator?
I haven't.
Like,
I'm not opposed to it. I just
chicken.
If a song played every time you walked in the door, what song would it be?
What song? Well, it would have to be Bryan Adams. That's my guy. So, I don't know. Maybe "Can't Stop This Thing We Started" by Bryan Adams.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. Bryan Adams.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's Canadian, but I love him. He's my guy. You know. And Def Leppard. I met Def Leppard.
There you go.
I did meet.
Did you?
So I had Bell's palsy. I got sick.
Michael did too.
Was that recent? No.
A couple years ago. And long story short, a friend of a friend of a friend, like, got to the bass player of Def Leppard who had Bell's palsy, and it never went away.
Okay.
He still
I didn't
struggles.
know that.
Yeah.
You never know if it's going to go away or
Right.
not. Michael had it when he was a teenager.
Yeah,
I just want
didn't
to say,
know.
Kathy Arnold Jr. said she actually had it, and it tastes like sausage. And I like
Kathy would
sausage.
know.
Well, so that was it. So I
Bell's
got invited to meet Def Leppard by the bass player,
And you had
Rick
Bell's
Savage.
palsy at the time?
I had Bell's palsy, so I took a picture, and it was kind of funny. I was with the whole band. I was with my son, and I was standing next to Rick Savage, the bass player, who also has Bell's palsy. And they're like, smile for the picture. And Rick Savage goes, oh, sure, put the two guys who can't smile together for the photo.
Oh.
You know? But, yeah, so they were great. They were, like, really nice, like, just great. Like the greatest guys. They were really
that's awesome.
cool.
That's cool because I've always loved them. So that's cool to hear that they're actually good people too.
Yeah, Bryan Adams is I'm going to stalk him. I want to meet him.
Okay.
That's a bucket list meet for me.
That's funny because
I have to say, I don't. Do you know? Like, could you name a song that like is a public song that people would know? Because I don't know them. I know the name of them, but I don't know them.
Who's
Kathy
that?
said, "Ha, Mandy, I would LOL." Michael said, "Uses Bonnie, loves her sausage."
Yeah.
I like
You
all
girls.
pork products. No, so what does Def Leppard play? Because I know I must know them.
Oh, pour some sugar on me.
that's what I was gonna
That's their
say.
big one.
You would know it. I'm gonna play it in 1 minute when this show's over.
Love
You'll have
Bites.
to play it for me.
Yeah, you'll know. You'll know it for sure.
It's the #1 stripper song of all time.
Really? Is
that
Yeah,
right?
that's what they say. Yeah.
I
not
don't
my-
go
that's not
to
my
strip
favorite.
clubs,
It's
so I would
Realizes-
not know.
But anyways.
Yeah, it's not my favorite either. That's probably the most famous though. Pour some sugar on me.
And Love Bites too, but I digress. Chris, do you have anything you want to plug before we get off the feed here?
I mean, you can. My website's notmature.com.
Notmature.com.
Yeah, you can check out my website.
Okay.
You know, I don't know my schedule. I really don't. You know.
I'm in a show with you.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's a private party.
Oh yeah, so we don't.
Yeah, we don't even have to, we don't
gonna
have
give
to plug.
us
That's
the
what I
address.
mean. I have private stuff coming out.
Peter Wolfinger says the one-armed drummer.
Yeah, Def Leppard's drummer has one
Well,
arm.
they have a lot of people with issues
Yeah,
in that band.
Yeah.
It's a charity act over there.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on?
And they
with
just
those
got in the
guys?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, they're
They deserve it.
So when I met them, the drummer Rick Allen was meeting like wounded warriors before the show. I'm just saying they're the greatest. They're the greatest
nice.
guys. Yeah.
All right, so that's the show, guys. You got anything else, Bonnie?
Could everyone share the show?
Oh, yeah, share the show. And we'll see you
Thank
at
you, everybody, for tuning in.
the Avenue, formerly known as G's Club, on Monday the 16th, 7:30 showtime. Yeah, that's it.
I've done G's. That's a great. I grew up in West Hempstead. That's a great place.
And we got to have you back.
Yeah, G's is awesome. Love G's.
Peter said Def Leppard, their songs, Love Bites, Rocket.
Let's Get Rocked.
I don't know them, Peter.
All right, love you guys.
Rock
All
of
right,
Ages.
bye, everybody. Share the show.